All right, guys, here we are to talk about the season finale, Season 1, Episode 10 of the Shannara Chronicles.
Oh boy, Stefan.
Yeah, this was a little bit slammed together.
So we've been saying for a couple episodes now, it seems like things have kind of come off the rails and we're not really sure anymore.
Yep.
And this, I don't know, some things were fine, but in general it was not good. I remember several times I was like, what?
This fell victim to a lot of the things that are bad in a lot of things. Let's just run down the line here. Our elf
Do you want to
princess,
go sequentially?
I guess-ish.
What line are we running down?
Well, so the elf princess is inside the Elcrease. That's where it starts.
Okay, so it picks up right where it left off.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, she's in the fire fucking portal.
Yeah, yeah.
And Will's outside cradling dead Eritrea after the blood thing and the dead floating ladies and the.
Yeah. So she's actually dead, but inside the fire world, is she talking to herself? Was that actually her? Or did it look incredibly like her?
I'm so glad you didn't know either, because I'm like, God, my fucking autism keeps fucking with my life. I can't tell if this is just her wearing makeup with a weird filter, if this is like a different actress. I think that it was her. The eyes.
Because I was like, is that her mother? Is that her? What is this? It looks exactly like her.
So,
and sometimes just they pick actresses that look exactly the same. But I think this is supposed to be like her.
I think it was played by her. We could probably verify that. But if it was played by her, that makes even less sense. And if it was her mother, she should have said "mom."
She may never have met her.
Said, I know that, but she's fucking.
But that wouldn't make sense either.
If it is her mother,
because her mom can't be the Elcrease, because that would have been.
She would have known about that.
And how many years ago was that? She
30.
would have been born.
Who's her mom?
She's not 30.
Well, in the show, she probably can't be 30 in the show, right?
No. So anyway,
who's her mom then?
We never know.
Did
Dead
they
lady.
mention it? I think they mentioned it.
We'll find out next season when she comes back like 11 from fucking Stranger Things.
Pokes out of the tree.
Probably. So Will is with Eritrea, and as it was hinted earlier in the show, could I have saved her? You could have, to his mother. We learn again that the Elfstones can do more than the one thing we've seen them do the whole show.
Okay.
And he uses them to heal her, and seemingly just magically place blood back in her body because she immediately hops right back on the take my blood train.
Okay. I have a lot of problems with this. I
Let's
assume you have
hear
problems with
all
this
your
too.
problems.
Okay. You've established that he has Elfstones, right? You haven't established anything except his ability to pathetically zap things. It has mixed results. It puts him into a coma sometimes. It destroys some things. Whatever the fuck, right? It burns his hand. It doesn't seem to do that anymore. I'm not even really sure, right?
Yeah.
If you wanted the Elfstones to do other things, you had to either drop in a single fucking line of dialogue from Alanon at some point and been like, wait till you master them. They do a lot of things, young Will, or something like that after you blast the one demon. Something. Just give me some reason to think that they do anything else, right? Because we rode this train. We said, well, maybe they do something else. And then he blasts something else, and we go, I guess they just blast things. And then something, they blast those things, and okay, I guess it's just like a weapon. I guess that's all it ever is.
I thought they did do something else, but I didn't. They never did anything.
I want them to do something else, and really because what I'm talking about here with a line of dialogue is in lieu of actually showing me, right? Because maybe you can't afford to show me what they can do. Hint that they can do something.
I would like
or
to see
whatever
him
the fuck,
put one
right?
stone in each hand and one in his mouth and go, oh, and just shoot 3 beams.
Okay, we could do that later. I don't know.
Or spin and shoot.
No, or something, right? Do something with a shield. Do something where you bring an animal back to life by accident or something like that. Do something.
Anything.
Give me something so that you hint that oh, these are like they fucking obviously are something that amplifies because my blood has this magic. I'm from this line. These stones focus it like a prism and allow me to do certain things. So if I just widen it, maybe I can just knock all these people down. But then if I focus it, I just burn the one demon. Or if I just do this, it's like a shield that kind of hovers around me. Do something, right? Fucking something. Maybe make them make a bubble around the toxic gas by the thing so that they don't get blowed up, right? Do fucking something. You had all these opportunities for the entire show.
Explain to us what Shannara means and what being the last Shannara is. The show is called the Shannara Chronicles. Will is the last Shannara, and we really don't know anything about what that is, what that means, what the limitations are, the powers, what's expected of him. Were there lots of Shannaras at one time? Is there one at a time? Is it passed down solely in bloodline? Is it just your one family? Were there other families? You're the last. What does that mean? Give me more information. It's the fucking season finale of a show. I don't even know what the fucking name is for.
Well, and they talk about his dad, but even then, like, by episode 7 or 8, we just concluded, I guess his dad just zapped a bunch of demons a lot. I guess that's what he did with these stones, because that's all that makes sense, because they've never showed us or hinted. Maybe they did hint and I missed it, but then you missed it too. Is that impossible?
Impossible.
So, yes. And again, it's very simple. Offense, healing, protection, something, make a bridge out of it, right? The ropes out.
Yeah,
there were all these scenes.
He should essentially be the Green Lantern, I think, is what you're looking for.
Or like not, but then like define them in some way, because now we're just going to keep coming up with new powers whenever he needs them. Like you had like the wild dragon, he could have calmed it down somehow, right? Do something. I'm like searching my brain for all these fucking opportunities where there were all these obvious ways that they could have like done something, right?
So what happened? So
he brings her back from the fucking dead, and she's like, "Where was I? Oh yeah, draining my blood for this machine that opens the portal for Amberly or whatever." By the way, they were like, "Go dip the seed in like the fire," and she just full on sprints into this fucking column of like flaming energy or whatever.
Yeah, like what if it wasn't a portal? What if it was literally like, "Oh, you're dead."
Yeah, what if you just died and were like a charred husk of like a person, but the seed was like now activated, right? And then, like, it pans over and there's, like, a giant ladle that they didn't notice. Like, oh, dip the seed. That's right. You fucking said that. No, just goes into a portal, talks to ghost self on a beach. Ugh.
Now, a little fucked up.
What I did love, though, and I don't know, I'm sorry if you're about to say something. The other her says, you have to sacrifice yourself. And she's like, no. Fucking peace out and fucking leaves. And is like, I want no part of this. Which I like.
And honestly, she may not have sacrificed herself if Eritrea had not sacrificed herself in a little.
No, I know, yeah, and she might have slept with that, but she eventually doesn't, of course. But I really like that idea that she is faced with like the thing. So
and then nope.
It says no, because like that is I have to acknowledge the good things too. That's like a non-standard thing. I like that, and she eventually comes back after like her like journey. What are you gonna?
So my biggest issue here, and there may have been something else in between here and there, but they're fleeing from that area, and they hear a noise, and it's the trolls.
Yeah.
Is that the next thing that happens?
It happens later, but this is like the same, like that's like their plot line.
So they're in the tunnel, they hear something, and then fucking the princess goes, "Run, trolls!" And I'm like, they may not have known exactly where you were until you yelled that. And then they get into an area where there's like the store's closed, a like utility gate thing.
Yep.
And on the other side of it, it's open maybe 3 feet. And they could just run, but no. Eritrea runs back in, and I'm like, oh, you know what she's going to do? She's going to lower the gate like to like a foot and then just go underneath it. Because maybe trolls are too dumb to crank the thing.
Trolls are big, and we are presuming, right, that they're too dumb to crank it, right? So
seemingly,
yes,
yeah.
Makes sense.
So that's what I thought was going to happen.
I had a similar thought.
What does she do? She just cuts it, and the gate falls. They're in this big open area, and she uses to her advantage, her power of throwing knives into their eyes. And she does this, and like kills 2 or 3, like
holy
like it's
shit,
nothing.
Okay, right? So again, I know this is sexist of me to have presumed that she was fragile, but she keeps getting fucked over. They like her and Amberly had trouble with like normal human, elf hunter people with like crossbows and swords or whatever the fuck. And trolls are made out to be this giant scary thing. Last episode we had a whole thing, Indiana Jones style, like upside down trying to grab the elf stones away.
Why
from
didn't you just kill them sleeping?
Yeah, these like very scary things. Yeah, you could have just easily killed them. Apparently, she could have killed them all alone. Apparently, she could have just. I wrote down she one-shots a troll and then says, I'll hold him off.
That's the second time she's done that, though.
Yeah.
She one-shotted a troll for Will earlier on in the first episode.
Okay, off camera, definitely. And she killed that weird hound.
No, that was on camera.
Did you see her hit it?
Yeah.
I thought she like
Will
woke him
was
up
in trouble,
or
and she just threw a knife and killed it.
Sure.
So, like, we've known all along she could do this, and now that it's not in close quarters, she can actually do these things. It seems completely plausible that if it was just the 3 trolls, they could have fought all of them and just got away. Or she could have one-shotted that one guy and they could have just ran.
Yep.
I hate in things the fault, like the sacrifice for no reason.
Yep.
And you don't know what's around the next corner. They may have fucking needed you to survive.
Because apparently you can easily kill trolls, so maybe you're really important, and like you should probably hang out with them, and you're stronger as a group. You're always stronger as a group, right? There's never a reason to hold them off.
What I like my mind said it's going to happen here, because they don't show her again until the very end.
Okay, yeah, we should get.
So I'm just going to cover what I think was going to happen before that happened.
Sure.
So I'm picturing, all right, we then see a whole mess of trolls, and you're like, oh, there's a lot of trolls. Oh god, Eritrea's probably in trouble. And I'm picturing she's like beasted like 10 trolls, and they make her warrior queen. And later they're gonna be in trouble, and an army of trolls are gonna come in. That's what I pictured, because that's the kind of the level of idiocy this show led me to believe is possible made that happen in my mind.
That may still happen.
It still might. It has not yet. Just to close out her storyline.
Let's just plot line by plot line or whatever.
So
we
see her get pulled kicking and screaming into a big chamber with lots of trolls, and there's somebody in front of her, and like they reveal who they are. We don't see, and she goes, "It's you," and it's over. Who do you think it is?
Cephalo.
Which one's Cephalo?
The King of the Rovers.
Yeah, that's who I think it is. I do believe
it could be Ty, I guess.
I was gonna say it's either Cephalo or it's King Robot Engineer guy.
King Robot Engineer, the poor man's James Franco, who was the head of the Amish village.
Yeah, that's who I think it could be.
That's
too.
Ty, I believe.
Ty.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know who it is. Cephalo got shot a bunch, and we kind of concluded that he was dead. But no one. It may be that no one dies on this show. That might be how this works. I feel like no one dies. If you really think about it, the king may have died, but he was old and gonna die anyway. I don't know what's going on anymore.
I can see a lot of things happening.
I think it
There's
might
going
be
to be
him.
something to play off on, and I don't know if this is actually a trait, but she has that weird tattoo on her, and that tattoo was in the hallways, and I'm like, did she get that from her dad? Is it his brand? So like maybe they went to eat him and saw that, and they're like, heal this man, he's our king.
Totally. That's the angle I was going for, because like when last we saw him, he was with all those trolls. And like dead maybe, but like the trolls swarmed in after, and then the other people. So I was like, okay, that would make sense. I don't know, like it's either that or someone we have not met yet, and this is fucking horrible.
Yeah, you person I've never met.
It's you introducing this person, and that would be fucking
Whoopi Goldberg.
Yeah, that would be fucking awful. That would be a horrible turn of events. But I would not put it past the show. And we've had a rocky production thing with changing companies or whatever. So maybe that is what happens when they go, "It's you, somebody." Like fuck.
Yeah.
We're kind of stuck now. We can't afford to get Cephalo back.
We'll see. We'll see who it is. So then.
Okay, so we should mention that her and Will kiss before they leave, and there's all this dumb shit with like, go, this is your thing, this is my part to play now, or whatever. I really, really hate the whole way that everything played out with her.
How hammy.
Dying just to come back and then immediately sacrificing yourself. I'd be like, bitch, I just brought you back. I don't know how many times I can use these stones. Let's go. Yeah. What the fuck is wrong with you?
This is my part to play. I'm on stolen time here. Like, whatever. Right. It's
my
borrowed.
life's already been.
I can do it.
Yeah, if she's
just a key.
Yeah, if she's thinking of herself as just a blood bag or a key or whatever, then she's totally going to be like, I guess I'm just going to do the thing. But she's such a beast, apparently. Yep. No, Amberly had like a dagger to her. That's so inconsistent. That's so weird and bad. Why was she so scared of Cephalo then? She can just kill him, apparently, whenever she wants.
Well, maybe he's more badass than she is.
How?
And just hasn't shown it yet.
Okay. Fucking that's weird. I don't know. I know that because, like, if you watch like a more realistic show like Game of Thrones or something like that, or like Lord of the Rings, you can get into like a power level discussion where you're like, well, this person beat that person easily, so he must be able to beat this or whatever. And like, fighting's not always like that. Styles come into play, conditions and all that stuff. But still, it seems so weird and inconsistent with her. Because there were so many episodes where she was so fragile and so not able to like handle things, and then she's just beasting these trolls again. But that did remind me of the earlier in the season stuff where she was just beasting hounds and trolls or whatever. So it doesn't. I don't know. Feels weird to me.
She's an enigma, and it's not in a good way because it's one of those things where I'm like, no, you're a question mark because I don't think the writers know what you do.
So that was my fear, was that she was like. Maybe she filled the role of some other character in the episodes in like the middle from the books, and now she's back to being the same character that you didn't
that
see.
could totally be true.
Some weird,
eliminated a character, gave her that's
some
possible.
Weird shit happened. That's very obvious, and usually it takes like a long time to be like, wait a minute, maybe this explains it, but it feels really, really weird. But okay, I think we're down to like the main plot that goes on the show, which is good. We took care of that side bullshit.
Oh, real quick before I forget, they did mention 1,000 to 1 outnumbered.
That's my first note in like the main thing.
1,000 to 1. So that is not just demonstrated based on the budget of this show whatsoever.
No. And do you think...
If anything, they look either completely matched or even a little underwhelmed.
Yep, because they only have so many like full latex masks for that one commander demon guy or whatever. So I think we totally called that it would be cheap and like they'd only have so many costumes.
It was very much a Xena Hercules war scene.
Yes. And a lot of like, oh, all the demons have helmets on because we don't have to fucking do it.
So you know you're outnumbered 1,000 to 1.
Yeah.
1,000 to 1.
Sounds like tough odds, Stefan. Don't show me the odds.
So those odds get more increased when you think of how many elves there might be. And if they're counting in how many dwarves, gnomes there are.
And there's 5,000 gnomes.
We know there are 5,000 gnomes, and if there's 1,000 to 1, you don't have a chance. And
So
even if you did have a chance, hang on, I have to rant for a second.
I got you.
So your only chance would be, all right, they're coming for the Elcrease, and they're coming to the Elcrease. The Elcrease is in our fortress. All right, cool. Be inside the fucking fortress and don't meet them in the woods. And then even if you're going to meet them in the woods, let's say right along a trench. Don't also dive into the trench. Wait at the top of the trench.
No, that was the fucking. I loved that fucking so much because as that was all coming together, I'll make a little pin in something here. As that all fucking came together, I wrote down like battle, ditch, no ditch, small. Literally the scene from Lord of the Rings, but bad. Like the whole fucking thing. Like
oh god, they give up every advantage they had at every turn.
Cause like
to be outnumbered 1,000 to 1.
Because they like slam shields, they do spears they're on the, like the top of like a trench. I go, all right, that makes logical sense for this battle to take place. That's okay. Then a demon fucking I keep almost saying orc. Like a demon like just jumps over the trench and I'm like, oh shit, they fucked up their plan. But they didn't have that plan because then he yells charge and they fucking run into the ditch to fight. Because like demons trying to go up the ditch to like fight into like shields and spears. That okay, 1,000 to 1, but maybe we can do this. Maybe we're in this like valley.
It would not take that long to fill that ditch with dead bodies.
I know that.
They have 1,000 to 1.
They have
a
spare
millions
people
of fucking people.
Yes, but they have a plan at least, I thought, but then there turned out to be no plan, right?
But what also is fucking infuriating is, so 1,000 to 1, we can assume there's like millions of fucking guys. There are no more flying demons. There are no more mimic demons. There's only the shit demons. There was only like 4 good demons in the whole lot ever.
Yeah.
Does that not destroy your soul?
It does. I mean, you can picture a big, major, epic battle scene like in your head or whatever, but then it's kind of like, what was the purpose of sending out the only good demons early if there were no other good demons? Like, if you just asked me to picture this like on like my own like thing, right, there would be flying demons. There'd be like shitty demons where it's like, well, maybe it takes 20 of them to even do anything. It's like they're little or weird or something like that. Sickly, crazy shits are happening. Potions and poisons and things, weird like demony stuff. Maybe like one gigantic giant, like a 20-foot tall dude in like the middle of these things.
Sure.
And he's like has a big club and is accidentally killing like the no-name demons while he's killing the elves or whatever, right? You can picture all these like scenes. You can picture all these things. They don't show any of that. I just have to go like, I guess that's happening, and I'm not being shown it.
No,
I hope.
It's actually terrible because you see maybe 40.
Oh yeah.
And that's on both sides combined.
And like soundstagey and very like small or whatever.
Yeah.
And like we watch television, we know, but I don't know why you would write or have a story like that if that's right. Isn't there a way
you could have literally just had them inside the castle, showing you one room of the castle, and then like breaking in one at a time into that room, and you could have had like 1 million do it that way, and it would have been fine.
And
I
like,
don't know why you'd do this.
And like the scouting party thing where Al-Anon finds them could have worked by itself too.
Sure.
It's a scouting like if you were trying to show us something like good. What you showed us was not good, so just leave it out, because no one's going to say, like, it's better to have people say, that would have been so cool, why didn't you show that, than to show it and have it not be cool, right? That's what I'm trying to say.
Agreed completely. And, like, the king is on the front lines. I thought that's a little weird, too.
That's old school.
It is old school, but...
Also, you don't have that many actors.
You don't have that many actors, but you also don't have any lineage left, and you'd think they'd be like his subjects would be like, no, king,
just wait in the back here where it's
you
somewhat
shouldn't be
safer.
on the trench. That seems a little foolish.
Yeah, but that gave us the opportunity for this. This is one of the only things that I kind of liked was that the other shitty prince. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like.
That was interesting.
King Uncle notices the sword, right?
Yeah.
And he takes note that there's some badass motherfucker demon, I guess, right, with the sword, taking care of business. But he loses his helmet, and it's the shitty brother, right? And he's got the bad teeth and, like, the red eyes, and he's been, like, possessed. Agdamore's taken him over and, like, outfitted him with that badass culling blade sword or whatever the fuck it was.
Yep.
Which is, like, poetic. It's actually cool. He used that sword to kill, try to kill Al-Anon.
His ex-girlfriend.
he then uses it to kill her, but in like the past he used it to kill Al-Anon, and like it was like this is me claiming like the power, and this is going to lead to me becoming like the king, right?
Yeah.
I would have liked there to be a scene with Dagdomor, and like it would have blown the surprise, so I see why they didn't do it. But rather than have a surprise, have an awesome thing where he's like, I have a crown for you, just come over here, and then like possessing and corrupting him and playing on his desires for power, and take the sword. No, you deserve this, and him like rising up and taking on this thing or whatever, this dark thing.
It's just that there's a lot of potential here, and rushing it all into one episode and making it fast and bad, and like there's a little too fast and loose with like a finale, and the finale didn't really have this super climactic awesome ending. You got Bannon the bitch breaking out and killing people and shit, and I'm like, all right. So
you want to spend a minute on Bannon right now?
Yeah.
So he gets out of. I was very confused by how this played out.
Why does this girl keep helping him? He's fucking clearly a demon.
Yeah, there's no reason why she should be helping him or be surprised when things like don't go well. But like, here's the layout, right? We've all seen the scene. She comes in, he says, "Do you trust me?" Acts like it's whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
He kills that guard, viciously beats him to death, and then does the like, I had to stop her from screaming. Like he does like the he shouldn't have touched you thing or whatever. But then later, she's not with him, and he left without her. But he flew into this rage to like protect her, but they left out the part where like she didn't go with him or like whatever, right? So then I'm like, wait, did that not even really happen? Because the first line she says to Al-Anon is, "I had a dream about him in like blood or whatever," and, but then she says, "This is my fault" or something, and I go, oh, so that did happen? But then he just left her and just said, "Okay, peace out, bitch," after he said he shouldn't have touched you. What the fuck's going on?
He's a weird character. I don't like the writing of him. I don't like him himself. His face annoys me, and
No, I do not like the actor or like what he's up to or something. I've said it before, the Hayden Christensen vibes from him.
Sure, no, that's founded.
I am the evilest. I'm the worst.
And it's true, he is.
Being to death and all that stuff. So yeah, you see him at the end with that same sword. So, okay, like the comment earlier about maybe no one really dies. Because the like shitty other brother prince guy who was possessed and like corrupted, he says like they never found his body. And the sword's gone, but like
they
Bandon
never
has
found
the body.
his body, but I took it as all of the demons turned to ash and went back to leaves.
He's a leaf now.
So maybe he's a leaf.
Okay, that makes more sense. All right, I'm just making sure there's not like a window open for that shit to happen.
It's still possible because I don't know if he was technically a demon or just a possessed dead person. So maybe there would be a body. I don't know. The rules are very unspecific, and I don't think the writers could 100% definitively tell me anything if I asked them.
Because does that mean that all those demons are just the casualties of like the previous war, and every time it gets worse? Is it this awesome? Would that be a we have some concepts on this show that make me feel a way? No.
That would be cool. But then what? Then like there were only 3 demons ever. Like, isn't that weird?
What? Oh.
If every monster thing is just a person that was a casualty of a war, then you never really had demons, or the real demons have all died and could not get resuscitated. I don't know.
No, I mean, like, Dagdomor was a corrupted druid and then tried to, like, destroy everything, or maybe he brought about the reckoning or whatever, and his forces are growing as the demons kill people, and, like, they possess them and corrupt the dead powers or whatever.
Yeah, that could be interesting.
I don't know, though, and they're giving me nothing to work with or whatever the fuck.
Worth asking.
But that's at the end there, so she's like, I failed him. He says, we both did. And that's like an open thing. Then it cuts to this fucking, like, it's like a music video shot. It's this fucking emo thing. First of all, he's wearing sneakers because the thing drapes over his feet, but if you go back and look at that scene, he's wearing, like, cons or something.
Wait, who is?
Bandon. I'm sorry. This is the scene. This is the scene where Bandon has the sword and he's wearing, like, the tattered rags, and he turns around and he's got the eyes, right? At the very end, one of the 4 endings, very Lord of the Ringsy as well. He has the sword, he has the whatever, takes off the cowl, does the whole thing or whatever. In like the first shot as he's walking, so I was like, who is this? I zeroed in on his feet for some reason and had the very distinct like cushy white bumpy sole of like a con or something like that. He's just wearing sneakers or something. Very weird fucking thing. I don't know, whatever. A nitpick, but it stood out to me. And yeah, it's like a music video where he turns around and he's got like the eyes and the fucking, he's doing his pale face.
Very cheesy.
Because now he's the new Dagdomor, because Dagdomor's dead. Yeah. Spoiler alert, I guess. Whatever.
Dagdomor ripped through fucking their forces like nothing, which makes sense because at 1,000 to 1.
But it all came down to like the very few characters or whatever at the end.
Of course, they only had those characters to start.
Isn't that interesting? Really, it really makes you think.
No, this was not a good finale.
No, all in all, not good. You want to run?
The princess does end up getting into the tree. She comes back. It sucks all the demons back up into the leaves, which is kind of interesting that it works that easily.
Yeah, so let's, real quick, I want to run through that, because that was another point of, like, contention for me. Okay, so I wrote down way on the bottom here. 1 day march to Arborlorn, or whatever.
Didn't they say they had 2 days just before?
So, the episode opens up. The demons are in Demon Place, and the, heroes are in Safe Home, and they have
Correct.
to get, and they both have to get to Arborlorn. Right?
Yeah.
Worst case
Well,
scenario.
one's east and one's west. And it's
Yeah. Right. Worst case scenario, it's in the middle or something like that. And yet they can both sort of get there. They're like on like horseback, gunning it, trying to beat them there. And he says it's a 1 day march. He's like, all right, guys, let's go. Tomorrow we're killing everybody. Right? March or whatever the fuck. Which implies to me that shit's 1 day away from like that shit. Which is crazy. And so is Safe Home? That's even fucking crazier. What was this epic quest? What was going on? And are they in opposite directions? Does that make sense? I hate this. Thank you.
being 1 day away, you'd think like scouts would always be watching.
Constantly. It's 1 day away. You could leave by breakfast and by dawn the next day be like checking out the camp or whatever. Why? How the fuck is this not a thing? I hate this. I hate this so much.
Now, a lot of questions
Well,
unanswered.
But it seems like this was done to like create this dramatic, horrible montage. I think it's the first time in the show there's been a song with words. And
Yes,
the words,
and it was such a weird song, out of character for this thing. I was like, what's happening?
The chorus was like "Run Boy Run" or something
Yeah.
like that, and it's the montage of like the march versus like the like horseback gunning it to get there before it's too late thing or
Yeah.
whatever. Such a weird choice, tonally horrible, the opposite of what it was, and on the nose with the "Run Boy Run." I remember in Watchmen there was a fucking
Time to change it.
I wish. No. Well, okay, so it was all on the nose and like shitty, the musical choices in Watchmen. But the one that really hurt me, like in the theater, I remember they're going to Vade's fucking castle in like Antarctica or whatever the fuck it is, and they play All on the Watchtower, and they're like on their like snow scooters right as the line two riders are like approaching plays, and the two of them are going. It's Rorschach and Night Owl. I was like, oh my god, you can't have a thing that says two riders are approaching as two riders are approaching. That's horrible. You can't do that. You're killing me. And this had the same feeling, where it's like the run thing, and they're running and all that stuff.
I would have preferred that be, I don't know, something like a dun 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 dun. Like, anything that wasn't that, it took me completely out of it. I was not a big fan of that. This episode on the whole, it definitely solidified the thought that I think this was supposed to be like 22 episodes, and they were like, you have 10, just fucking finish it.
No, something went wrong here, and we will do like a post-mortem personal thing at the very least. I don't know if it'll be a video or something.
Sure.
But to run down the rest of the things that happened. So Amberly and Will, after the Run Boy Run thing, they get back there, but there's demons there, and they say we have to wait till dark.
Yeah, and they go into like some sort of perfect sand cave with a window.
So yes, a crazy, impossible, cave. But she's like, I know just the place. And then it cuts to like the shot of this like cave, and I say out loud, "Yeah, let's find a hole and fuck," or whatever the fuck. And then that happens.
Yep.
Oh, we're early, I guess. We have to wait till dark. What are we going to do till then? I don't know. Profess our love to each other and have sex in a cave. The tactically best choice to make at this point. You're trying to say, and I know. Hey, listen, I don't save the world. I don't know what it's like. I don't know what you're feeling. Get the juices flowing with the world saving or whatever the fuck. But that seems crazy to me.
When you can die at any time, it's best to tempt fate.
Just tempted all over the place. So good. She doesn't tell him the truth. They love each other. I don't know when they met chronologically in this. I guess they're young.
Doesn't he say something like "I've always loved you" or something? Where it's like, what does that mean? From the moment you saw her naked by the pool, like.
Yeah, right. I've always loved you for the last several weeks.
6 days.
Yeah, like. Because she's away and they run into each other and then they go back, but then they go again. And it's a 1 day.
Been like 2 weeks at most.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and I know
everything's so close. They haven't been traveling.
Yeah, I know it's like a young adult thing, and there's fucking love, and that's a plot line.
He may never have seen a girl before.
That's probably true. His mom.
He lived in a small town.
He was a halfling from not the Shire. They call him a halfling at one point because he's half elf, half human. Wow. Okay, but after the fucking's done, they show up, right? Al-Anon scoops them up. They go back there. So we do the thing, right? Because the whole time, when Al-Anon almost dies, right? After that episode, we're like, is he actually going to die, right? Well, because Will has to be the man. How is Al-Anon going to be taken out of commission? I never, anticipated the most cliche thing in the fucking world, which is like
blue and red lights.
two beams shooting at each other, and he goes, "Go, run!" and does the whole fucking thing. But they did that. There was one badass scene because right when he says "go, run," it's like a staff, ka-ching, go, run, and that was okay. And then it like cuts like a fake commercial break. But then, when it comes back, it's just red versus blue, beams out and on each other, and it made
balloons.
It made lightsaber noises. Did you catch the lightsaber noises?
Yes.
Oh my god, it was the greatest thing ever.
It's not the crowning achievement of man, I assure you.
What do you mean?
It's just I hate these things where it's like, well, that all cost money, and you could have made it good, but you didn't. Like,
well, so
there didn't have to be lights or anything. It could have just been a really cool sword fight.
With interesting
force pushing and this and that, like other people jumping in and you like pushing them away and doing things, making this an honorable fight amongst two men.
Yeah,
but they didn't do that.
No, and Al-Anon falls for the oldest trick in the book, which is when you knock the other person down and they get up into a like counter maneuver, which I thought was like a rookie mistake. And also and I didn't want him to say, if you strike me down, I'll become more powerful than you could ever imagine. But, like, if you're going to go Star Wars, go, like, full, right, where, like, there was no talking, like, I sense the master within you, and he's like, he's imbued me with his power, and we're going to fight now. And he's like, like, you can't beat the both of us. And he's like, I already have, and I killed him.
Yeah.
Do, like, do something, right? Because that stuff's free. Just put that in there. You're already doing all the other bullshit. It bothered me so much. It was so quick and so bad. Oh, it was great. Oh, it was great. I'm sorry. and then literally, so once Dad No More breaks in, right? Like the doors explode open.
Yeah.
Al-Anon like slides through. Dag Damore, who looks kind of like Darth Maul, does the exact same no look force thing behind him to close the door as when Darth Maul's backpedaling, and he does the like quick force pick up the droid to like smash into the. It's one of my favorite things ever, honestly.
And how did it compare?
Lightsaber Duel. Well, it's so weird that you would have your two good druid, evil druid, red and blue, fighting, making lightsaber noises, and then in like the next part of the sequence, do a very, very similar no-look hand
They're
force.
They're not trying
open the door
anymore,
thing.
Lee. They're just trying to end it.
No, but it seems like they are trying to call back to these epic things that their audience would know from like other movies, because they were literally lightsaber noises, right? They bought the ILM _ sound.
I don't think they paid for anything.
Oh, it's so crazy to me. Because, like, at first I was like, oh, LOL, red and blue. Oh, LOL, like, kind of like lightsaber noises, guys. This is a little weird. But then that on top of it made it this fucking crazy thing to me. And he was doing, like the bad guy kind of has lightning, right? Like the way that they do in, like, the fort. I'm sorry.
No, I don't.
Red is bad.
It's so painful because it wrapped up so quick. This episode should have been like 4 episodes, and it should have been written well.
I know.
It seems like such a mistake. And there's a second season, apparently. And
I'm not sure where they're going to go from here.
I don't even know.
We said, though, she goes in the tree, the thing happens. So, like, Will ends up holding off Dag Damore with his Elfstone powers or
for just long enough for her to run into the tree, pretty much.
And then Al-Anon with that. The sword is awesome.
Yeah,
and then cuts off Dag Damore's head. And then we're good. But, yeah, that was so quick. That could have been a whole fucking thing without much. Just have them in there. Just have them talking. Just have some weird thing. Oh, God. Could have drawn a circle on the ground and put, like, one stone at, like, triangle points and made, like, a thing to trap him, right? Lure him into the...
that'll work. That's pretty cool. A little prison.
Make some things up. I don't know.
There's no reason to believe it won't work, because anything could happen. Just they didn't do anything with it.
No,
I just really don't like a rushed episode. And I do hope that it was, like, prematurely canceled or something, or budget.
There has to be more to this story than we are first...
What would you want to happen in Season 2?
Oh, from here?
Yeah.
Well, so how this ends is Will's going to look for... So he's
headed back.
So, like, he's touching the tree, right? Al-Anon's like, she will talk in time, They know about Bandon being out there and being bad. They fucking literally say... Dag Damore's presence has woken up other evils. Like, hint, hint, there's going to be more. Don't worry, we killed the bad guy, but there's other bad guys. And then they cut to, for example, this bad guy, and you're like, oh, fuck. And Will goes off on a horse. Al-Anon says, like, our journey's just beginning. I I feel between you and I. And it's like, okay, handshake, do the thing, right?
Why would he go off alone? Why would Will go off alone? I understand he has to go back, but he could go back with the whole army.
No, he's a VIP, and you could say, right, hey, King Uncle, I'm sorry about Amberly. I didn't know either, but Al-Anon says it's for the best. I know, Will, whatever. Hey, so Eritrea really saved our lives out there. I feel like I owe it to her to go search. Take my best men. Take Captain whoever, whatever.
Yeah, something.
Go on, whatever. Right, but then that wouldn't be a story or something.
Or take 2 horses because you don't want to ride back on one.
Fucking something.
Anything.
But they had to have that shot of him leaving or whatever the fuck. I wanted to say really quick before predictions. So since it was night and since it was Arborlawn and Arborlawn whatever the fuck, and we had Amberly there and we had stuff happening, right? And they were split off and they were sneaking in, right? I thought it was building up to a thing where the race from the first episode was going to come into play, right?
The race?
So they do the blindfolded race, but now it's nighttime.
Was that the same trench as the race?
I thought it might have been too.
It looked smaller and less dangerous.
So I thought that's why that was in there, because they were building up to this thing where she'd be like, no, Will, trust me, I could do this with my eyes closed. Oh my god. I thought it would be this fucking awesome thing because the demons wouldn't know. So I wanted to have a shot from the other side where because in episode 1 a blindfolded elf with his hands behind his back falls and hits the branch. I wanted to have the flip side where the demon falls chasing them and hits the branches and they're running and she's like, okay, now jump, 3, 2, 1, duck, okay, go, and then they're being chased and they and do this whole thing. Would have been awesome. But they didn't do that.
That would have been good, but that part was only really impressive because of the blindfolds. When you can see, it wouldn't be as bad.
Well, but it's night, so I would have been like,
well, this is
only a movie, whatever. I know. I don't know if demons can see it in the dark in this world, but since they were back in the exact same spot at night, trying to run
through
the woods to get through, I really thought it was obvious to do that, and I really would have liked it to happen. Now,
predictions?
From where we are, from where we've ended up, I really don't know. Because Eritrea is fine. She's somewhere, right? Something's happening with somebody. We don't know who yet. I assume it's going to be Cephalo or a new fucking character. Will's on his way to meet up with her. I think he'll have to bump into someone else to replace Amberly and the quota of how many heroes there are or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
That wyvern rider with the whistle thing never paid off at all.
Well, that's because that's going to be a callback later on.
I hope that comes into play. I totally do. But no, they do it Bandon's the obvious next big bad, but I don't know what he can do if the plot line does not revolve around the Elcrease. Can he do anything else with demons? Can he make people demons?
I think he could. If he killed the Elcrease, all the leaves would fall.
Okay, so
that could be the plot.
So he might be trying to get back in, but I don't know.
Not sure. I think that we will get the Elf Princess back. I think that's just
she'll just pop out of the tree.
Something's gonna happen, and she'll come out of there. Or maybe he does kill the tree, the demons get released, she pops out. I don't know, something bullshit that makes for a level 2 bad guy that's far worse than the first bad guy, but somehow easily defeated so they can fight the level 3 bad guy.
No, he should have been, re-imprisoned again, Dagdamor. It made no sense to kill Dagdamor, right? I guess Bandon replaces Dagdamor?
Yeah, well, he left his kind of like Brainiac, touches you and he's still in here for a little while.
Yeah. No, he's Dagdamor probably just lives on in Bandon, and that's why the whole thing went down like that, because they were connected after what happened. So I guess he just is the new whatever. But that whole thing, again, it made me feel like in, the middle, Bandon was, a different character again. Because, he was chained up in the beginning, which totally makes sense for how things go at the end.
Sure, that was foreshadowing.
Yeah, and literally Star Wars, where you have rage in you.
He spent more time chained up than anything else in this whole series.
Yeah, well, but he has things he can't control. He has problems, and Dagdamor can exploit that and get in that way and corrupt him and all that stuff.
Yeah, he's definitely the bad guy for this season. There'll probably be somebody else his Rita Repulsa that will guide him or take him or whatever. Will's gonna find Eritrea. Eritrea will be fine. The person that is in the cloak will be definitely somebody we know.
Who else besides Cephalo could it even be?
No one.
Someone. It's either Cephalo or various disappointments, possible disappointments.
Yeah.
Because I like that guy. I like that character and his like the actor playing him or whatever.
As do I. I don't know. I guess the predictions are hard to say because this show's such
a
shot in the dark.
There's so much it's cop. I mean, what do we hope happens? That good writers get on board and they kind of
give solid answers for everything about this world.
Tie up some things. They could start off in a whole different
direction.
Dwarves
are definitely going to be the next season.
Okay.
Maybe they'll even be a big part of the bad guys.
Oh, and I want to know what's under the trolls' masks. I think we're going to find out in one way or another. I hope it's not just people pretending to be trolls, because that's really dumb.
That'd be hysterical.
Because they wouldn't sleep in those masks. Whatever. And all like 7 gnomes that we saw that fought off the whole army. Why mention 5,000? Whatever. Yeah.
All right, guys. So that was the season finale of the Shannara Chronicles, and then we'll talk to you again about.
We are gonna watch season 2.
Yeah,
is what
we'll
saying?
catch you season 2.
And we're gonna see how it goes.
The same type of joy-filled experiences you've envisioned.
It's only uphill from here.
All right, don't die in a fire. We'll catch you next time.